Before I just start coding away, I like to first draft out a general picture of what I want the GUI to look like in the end. This picture will be helpful in determining what widgets to create and, more importantly, where exactly to place them. I'll start my draft of the GUI by drawing a box to represent the window containing the end feedback form. As the requirements stated, the form needs to display the Desert to Sea logo and a message to the user inviting them to leave their comments about the tour. I also want to thank the customer for taking the tour, so I'm going to include a bold "Thank you" header line as well. We know that we need 2 input fields for the user to enter their name and email address. Since both of these can be written on a single line, I'm going to use the entry widgets for each of them. The requirements also stated that the user should be able to enter multiple lines of comments, so I should use a text widget to implement that. Now, our GUI has 3 input fields, but nothing to indicate to the user what they should do with them, so let's add labels to each of those fields. Finally, the requirements stated that we need 2 buttons to submit and clear the comments of the input fields. I've decided to include those down below the text widget. The GUI looks pretty good and should meet all of the requirements for the feedback form, but there's one more thing I want to add. To help organize the widgets and make laying them out easier, I'm going to include 2 frames, one to contain the top header region and the second to hold the rest of the contents. By dividing the GUI up into smaller subregions, we'll be able to easily tweak the placement of widgets within each subregion without affecting the GUI as a whole. The frames I'm using to do this will both be invisible to the user, so I've drawn them here using broken lines.